Good day. My name is Dina Malan, and welcome to our introductory lesson, during which I'm going to give you an overview on what you can expect in the series of lessons on reading and viewing. Now, the other learning areas, as you might know, are listening and speaking, um, it's writing and presenting, and then, of course, the language structures and conventions actually fit in with all of these three learning areas. So we are going to incorporate that as we go along. The approach is holistic. You cannot really compartmentalize language. You can't say this is language, this is reading, and this, because it all works together, and you have to learn the language in a holistic way. So, in order to get that right, we are going to expose you to a wide variety. You're going to see a wide variety of both literary and non literary texts and also genres. We are also going to expose you to written texts as well as visual texts. Remember, it's reading and viewing. And we are going to learn to teach you how to apply your language skills in this area. We are going to teach you some pre reading skills, some during reading skills, and some post reading skills, all of which you're going to apply in both paper 1 and paper 2 of your examination. And all of this, we hope, will develop your proficiency in reading, in viewing, and in understanding any text that might land in front of you in an examination. Some of the skills that you will meet, or that you'll learn, or the strategies that you'll meet during the course of the series will be strategies to comprehend and interpret texts. You will learn how to predict from what you've already got in a text, predict. You are going to learn how to clarify a certain text, and you are going to learn to evaluate a text. In other words, also form your own opinions on what you have either viewed or read. Some of the skills to create meaning will be a bit of skimming, some scanning. You will be taught how to compare texts. It's very important. Comparisons, how to contrast texts, and of course, how to evaluate texts. Those are some of the skills and the strategies that you're going to come across. Now, of course, ultimately, we all want a good mark at the end of the day, isn't that true? So we are aiming at our final exam. Now, the reading and viewing learning area will be tested in two papers, in paper 1 and in paper 2. Paper 2, of course, is the literature. Paper 1 is the language and comprehension and so forth. So in those two papers specifically, you will be questioned on the skills and strategies that I've just told you about. Now, the papers are the same for the entire FET phase. So don't think it's in any way different. The only thing that will differ will be the length of the text, for instance, of the comprehension text that they're giving you, and the summary texts that are given you will be different for the three grades. But the rest is exactly the same. So we are working towards exactly the same end product. Exam papers are readily available. You can just get onto the internet and find them like that. And we suggest that you do as much practicing as you can possibly do. Because the more you practice, the more you're going to be quick to understand what they need and quick to know what exactly is expected of you, etc. So please practice. Then in terms of the actual papers themselves, the assessment for grades 10 to 12, in other words, the FET phase, is paper 1, 2, and 3. And I've just spoken about the first two. The third paper is, of course, writing. And whatever you've learned in the reading and viewing, whatever you've learned in the listening and speaking, and in the language sections, you are going to apply in paper 3. So everything culminates really in paper 3, where you are ultimately going to be tested on how well you can apply these skills in your actual writing and reading and so forth. So I said that the only thing that differs will be the length of the comprehension texts. And it's not that phenomenal. It's, for instance, for grade 10, the comprehension text will be 500 to 600 words. For grade 11, 600 to 700 words. And in grade 12, 700 to 800 words. And as I said, it's only the length, nothing else is different. The length of the summary text will also differ slightly in the same way, but very little. Paper 1 will be out of 70 marks, where you will get an official comprehension test for 30, which will comprise 2 texts. And the one will usually be written and the second one will be visual. Hence our focus on the different kinds of texts. You will have to do a summary for 10 marks. You will have to answer questions on advertisements for 10 marks. Other media aspects for 10 marks, usually cartoons. And then there will be a 10-mark question on specific language structures and conventions, or textual editing, if you like. That's your paper 1. And the paper 2 will then be the seen and the unseen poems, and it will be the literature essay and the literature contextual, and that one will be 80 marks and this one will be 70 marks. And then, of course, paper 3 will be out of 100, and that is the total number of papers that you will have to write at the end of the course. So I really hope that you're going to make time, English time, every day. English is a subject just like any other, and the more effort you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So make some English time, get yourself a scrapbook or a book where you're going to write your notes in any way that you would like to summarize or make little asterisks and colors and mind maps, whatever you'd like to do. But get a nice study book in which you can scribble or that you can use for practicing your papers. Find a bit of English time every day and you will be rewarded. Most certainly. So good luck, and I hope you enjoy the journey.